Let's begin by multiplying out the brackets on the left-hand side. X times 3x is 3x squared. X times minus 4 is minus 4x. 5 times 3x is 15x. And 5 times minus 4 is minus 20. In our other brackets, minus 3 times x squared is minus 3x squared, and minus 3 times plus 2 is minus 6. From here, we can do some simplification. The 3x squared and the minus 3x squared cancel each other off. Minus 4x plus 15x is 11x, and minus 20 minus 6 plus 4 comes out as minus 22. So we end up with 11x minus 22 is equal to 0. We want to solve for x. In other words, we'll want x all by itself on one side of the equation. To do this, we'll need to remove the 11 in front of the x and the minus 22 beside it. The minus 22 represents subtraction. To remove this, we need to do the opposite, which is addition. So here, I'll add 22 to both sides. The 11 in front of the x represents multiplication. To remove this, we'll do the opposite, which is division. So here, I'll divide both sides by 11. Performing the calculation on the right-hand side gives us our final answer. X is equal to 2. The trickiest part of this question is dealing with all the fractions. At its core, a fraction represents division. For example, this x plus 3 below the line represents division by x plus 3. Whenever we have something we don't want in a mathematical equation, we can remove it by doing the opposite operation. Since fractions represent division, we can remove them with multiplication. The x plus 3 beneath the line represents division by x plus 3. So to get rid of this, we should multiply by x plus 3. The x here represents division by x, so to get rid of this, we should multiply by x. And the 2 beneath the line here represents division by 2, so to get rid of this, we should multiply by 2. We can combine all these multiplications into a single step by multiplying across our equation by x plus 3 times x times 2. So let's multiply each of our 3 fractions by this term. Since multiplication is the opposite of division, a bunch of cancellations happen here. In the first fraction, the x plus 3's will cancel. In the second fraction, the x's will cancel. And in our third fraction, the 2's will cancel. This leaves us with a much simpler equation. Now, let's perform some of our multiplications. 5 times x times 2 gives us 10x. X times 2 is 2x, and 3 by 2 is 6. X by x is x squared, and 3 by x is 3x. Now we can multiply out further. Minus 1 times 2x is minus 2x, and minus 1 times plus 6 is minus 6. On the right-hand side, 1 times x squared plus 3x simply gives us back x squared plus 3x. On the left-hand side, we have some simplification. 10x minus 2x is just 8x. Our equation involves an x squared term, x terms, and a number term. We refer to this as a quadratic equation. We can solve this using the quadratic formula, but to do this, we need to group together all the terms on one side and leave a 0 on the other side. Here, let's group our terms on the right. To remove the plus 8x from the left, we'll subtract 8x from both sides, and to remove the minus 6 from the left, we'll add 6 to both sides. Noting that 3x minus 8x is minus 5x, we end up with the equation 0 is equal to x squared minus 5x plus 6. We can solve our equation using the quadratic formula. The first step is to identify our values of a, b, and c. A represents the number in front of the x squared. We just have x squared, which can be thought of as 1 times x squared. So a is equal to 1. B is a number in front of the x, so here b is minus 5. C is a number by itself, so here c is plus 6. Let's sub these values into our formula. We can simplify things here. Minus 5 is plus 5. Minus 5 squared is 25. And 4 times 1 times 6 is 24. Underneath the line, 2 times 1 is just 2. Under the square root, 25 minus 24 is 1. We can simplify further by noting that the square root of 1 is just 1. To deal with the plus-minus sign, we split into two cases. In the first, we replace this symbol with a plus, and in the second, we replace it with a minus. To get our solutions to the question, we just have to calculate each of these expressions. 5 plus 1 is 6, so in the first case, we get 6 over 2, which is 3. 5 minus 1 is 4, so in the second case, we get 4 over 2, which is 2. So as our final answer, we've ended up with two solutions to the equation, x equals 3 and x equals 2.